everybody, and welcome to Rise the Podcast. I am Jeremy.
And I'm Darrell.
I'm Dave.
And I am the fourth dude here. And I'm Brownie.
Hi, Brownie. So, Recraft.
Liar!
Are they new? Do you know Recraft?
You know, I don't off the top of my head.
Hello, Recraft. I have a pretty good memory, and I think that is a new person.
You claiming to have a good memory.
I have a fantastic memory.
For very...
What day is your anniversary, Jeremy?
July 26th.
Liar!
I'm not a liar! Oh, my goodness. How did the timing work on that
timing,
one?
Ryan.
That was
great timing.
Beautiful.
I need either someone to repair my printer or get a new one. Well, tell us about your printer. What do you have?
The name sounds really familiar, but I don't know if it's through here from someone else that I watch.
I'm going to feel horrible if they're just like a regular visitor and I just don't remember.
I am also going to be insanely distracted by all the little pumpkin things going on.
You've seen it, but this is the first time being on the new set.
Yes.
Correct? Right?
Yes.
Hey, Brad.
I think I haven't been on for about a year.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. The Halloween one is always our biggest. We are talking about focus and you're here? So we have a focus laser. We've just used it. We use it all the time. It's incredible. Actually, Chris, can you go to the wide? All of our we have a laser brightness so that can you zoom in on it with the
Yep.
You got what I was getting at. All right, this is just an excuse for Chris. So he's going to zoom over there. Are you doing it in the background?
Should I hold on? Like if we do a zoom?
Right. It's kind of fun.
Come on, thing.
Now I don't believe you can do it. Think you're a lot of talk, Chris.
Is it like lagging? Oh, there we go.
I don't see it
Started
yet.
to move.
I don't see anything.
Why?
It's because we're running live, man. It couldn't work out that easily. I can go and...
Let me...
Who the focus is Darrell is what. So Darrell is.
Why is this not letting me move?
You don't
there we
know
go.
the power.
You're breaking the fourth
side.
wall, Chris. You can see our ugly light fixtures.
Yeah, man. I don't feel like I'm on a spaceship anymore. So I am...
Hey, who's breaking it with the IMDb game?
I'm betting it's Ryan. Oh no, it's Stone Monkey.
Stone Monkey.
I'm just going to sit in the pot and eat whatever comes up.
No. There we go. Okay, so those we lasered. So those we
I
did
don't
with
know
the
why
laser.
the click and drag is not working. That's really frustrating me.
But yeah, you can see the winner up top there. Is that Mayhem? Got the 4 X-Wings?
Max Payne.
Max Payne. Up at the top. And those are all people who have shot down
I
X-Wings.
should be on here.
You should be.
That's
Carries-
me, I think, isn't it? No.
No. Oh, no, that is you. Yeah, because you got the...
Oh, that's Gwen.
Oh, you're not on there yet.
I feel betrayed.
You should.
Shame.
At least the snapback to the whatever is working. So who's the actor? And I want to come back to Crafter and
That
talk about
is
some
it.
printers here.
Yeah.
Recraft.
Real quick while this is going on, I am Darrell Davey. A couple people have asked in the chat. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I'm a local game designer, owner of Hallow Games, one of the head designers for that. I do a lot of stuff around the area, including local plays and some of the TV station stuff around here. So busy dude. But yeah,
Fortunately available this evening, so thank you.
convenient is also what I am. So thank you.
I've known Darrell a long time. You have twins, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they keep you. They keep you busy.
Yeah, very busy. Going to 3rd grade this year already. So
So we have All Hallows Eve was the very first game, and we've done a lot with that. We've talked about it. We've even done a playthrough live on air once. And then but you have your new game Skirmish, which we can talk about in a little bit.
yeah, absolutely.
What nerdy stuff are you into?
Oh boy.
Like what's your Star Wars, Star Trek?
Out of the two, definitely more of a Star Wars fan. For those I grew up kind of little brothering Star Wars from a lot of my friends because that was like their thing. So I'm like, I don't need to know as much about it because like they're gonna do it, and if I have questions about Star Wars,
Got it.
I'm just gonna ask them. What actually brought me into like a deeper understanding of the Star Wars universe was the X-Wings miniature game.
Oh yeah,
Which I mean, I have not dusted my ships off in ages. Hallows Eve game. I need to replace the one that I had in my house. Yes, I do. Go to Hallow Games and send me a DM. Darrell DAVEY. If you find me on there, Gus, we're probably already friends if you've already had one. Yeah, and we can get one shipped out. What happened? Replaced?
His
house burnt down.
Yeah. Yep. And so
It's probably your game's fault because of how pure evil it is.
Yeah, he released the spirits within. We're all dead this Halloween, man. So
it wasn't a total loss, but it was the water that did everything. So the fire department showed up, and it was just the water damage is.
And that's why I say we shouldn't have fire service.
Yeah, right. Just
hot take.
Kara wants to make sure that everyone knows that she lasered the laser brain Hall of Fame.
She did laser brain him. She did.
But she did not get to mine before surgery. She's having Fire Nation reduction surgery. So
She'll just be Heather next time she's on.
with our luck, it'll come back even more aggressive and in greater numbers.
Right?
What did we ever
Yeah,
end up?
Cam's uncle, you nailed Matt Rasmussen in the eye with the Nerf balls. That's
Yeah, he was down here once and he was running the
Matt.
Nerf guns, and yeah, he shot Matt right in the eye. Poor Matt.
okay. So we have an IMDb game up. They chose Chris Brown. I can only imagine that they meant this Chris Brown.
I was just gonna say, which Chris Brown?
There's no way he's acted in anything. Way less than Sean Connery.
For those of you who aren't aware of the IMDb game, whoever redeems it suggests an actor or an actress. It's up to us to vote whether or not we feel they've appeared in more films or fewer films than screen legend Sean Connery. It's best that you don't know how many films Sean Connery has appeared in because that ruins the spirit of the game. Gwen is here, hello. So Stone Monkey suggested Chris Brown, which is my name.
Yeah.
I'm actually on IMDb. We can check that out in a minute if you want to.
I am too.
Are you really?
Yeah. Yep.
But do you guys think that he's appeared in more films or fewer films than Sean Connery?
I'm gonna say fewer.
There's no way.
I think there's no way he's been in more things than Sean Connery.
Are we including music videos?
Well, it's credited.
It's according to listed credits on IMDb. So it's whatever IMDb considers a credit.
Yeah. There's
If
no
it's
way.
more or the same, I'm gonna lose it.
If it's more of the same, I'll do the Lego lock for free.
There you go. I love that. Yay!
Yeah.
Oh my God! It must count music videos. It's more.
Shut up.
It's more.
Shut up.
No.
No way.
But
Girl.
fine. I said it, so.
Why is that unfathomably sharp?
I mean, this is just like walking
This is not
at
zoomed
home.
in.
That is like incredible.
You've got humongous feet, Darrell. Holy
Get a little
smokes!
off the bottom for me, robot. Thank you.
He's gonna clean up.
Goodbye. Thank you.
I like the new additions of the droids. They really are the cherry on top of the set.
It's
That
just
is
nice having something
fantastic.
smaller and cuter than me on the screen. You know?
How many short jokes do you get on a weekly basis?
It is how many new short jokes? Very rare. Very rare. I usually appreciate a new one, but oh yeah, it's constant. I'm ripping on myself too, you know, it's self-deprecation.
Chris, can you go back to the Lego walk once?
Yeah.
Cam? Can we see how far the droid makes it before getting locked up?
Sure.
Okay, all right.
Let's
So the
do the
droid.
Legos.
Hey, P1NK, can you go ahead and drive over the Legos, please?
Oh,
Good
That's
job.
what I was gonna
Wow. Darrell, you want to help out your short buddy
Cool.
there?
Come here, friend. Oh, there you go.
Thank you, P1NK, for doing the Lego walk. That's great. That's phenomenal. So we know droids can
is
feel pain, right?
Yeah.
Because
it's a program to feel pain.
so
That's a little sick, but I get it.
well, no. So here's the deal, right? Do you guys remember?
Kara is devastated.
I'm in.
Do you guys remember in Jabba's palace? They have that one droid upside down and his legs are kicking, and then they have the hot irons go like on his
Yeah.
feet, and then the poor droid's
And
like,
if you watch, it starts shooting the steam out slightly before it gets touched.
oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Well, it's feeling. That's how hot it was. They're just trying to establish.
Yeah,
it was. steaming
it was
before.
like
Oh, is that what that was? It wasn't a mistake.
it's flash. It's not flash burning. What's the flash steaming or whatever the
Yeah,
term?
flashpoint.
Yeah, and it just sizzles it an inch off. You think they got cold?
So
Torture?
you are into Star Wars, but what's your
Yeah.
like Doctor Who? What's your favorite nerd thing?
Doctor Who is one thing I have intentionally stayed out of.
No way!
Intentionally, because
Hold on. How did Chris pull it up that fast?
There it is.
Is that a gonk droid? Are they doing that? What did a guy?
Yeah, it's a gonk droid.
He's just a power robot. Why are they doing that to a gonk droid? The idea of torturing robots is hilarious to me because it's in the back. Man, they put some thought into that. I love that old stuff.
Oh, so I mean, in nerdom, I grew up as a big anime guy.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings is probably. I'm more on the fantasy side,
Okay.
I would suppose.
Witcher?
A little bit. You know, I never got to play the games.
Games phenomenal.
I had a buddy in college. I don't know if he's on, so I'm going to trash talk him until he gets here. Both Skyrim, in which he would just play and play and play and play and play. Like there's 100% completionist, and then there is. I'm going to play it in every race, and every path, and I'm like, I never need to play Skyrim, and I know everything about it. Like, I played vicariously through it, just listening in the room. Stockholm Syndrome.
Skyrim.
You know.
How many Mayrunes could a Dagon if Mayrunes could Dagon Dagons?
I have no idea what you're saying.
That's Skyrim. I guess it's technically just an Elder Scrolls thing. But
Got it.
he's the main antagonist in Oblivion, I guess, technically.
That's how they do gonk firmware updates.
Other things, Digimon, big.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we've had a couple shows with me accidentally side tangenting the entire thing into Digimon for no good reason.
Digimon's really fun.
So I don't know. I mean, I have my toes in a lot of stuff. The reason I chose not to be into Doctor Who is because I had so many fandoms. And it's like, you know, I like the merch, I like the, you know, going to things and knowing all the stuff, and it was just that line where I'm like, my brain needs one thing that I'm not geeking out over.
Yeah.
And you know, Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You know, still huge. Burnt out as everybody else on them. But at the same time, I still enjoy them.
Yeah,
So.
I haven't even got to see yet Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Just haven't even got time to see it yet.
Well,
I haven't watched
told
it
you
either.
5 years of your life, bud.
It's on Disney Plus. Yeah, so our goal is because we're all caught up on Ahsoka, but I suppose we should probably wait to talk about Ahsoka until Kara's back on.
I think that's probably appropriate.
because that's kind of her thing, and we'll have a
The
lot.
third episode, non-spoiler thing, not a ton actually happens.
That's true. Yeah, there's not a lot that actually happens.
Well,
because next week I'm going to try to have. Do you know the people who do Ward?
Yes.
I'm going to try to have them on next week. I don't have anything set in stone yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think
they
they said
were
they
gunning
were
for
coming.
October.
I heard October. I could actually, if you don't mind me, I could look it up when they said they were coming.
You can go. Or did they say September 23rd?
I could have swore it was October.
Nope. September 23rd is we have a Star Wars group in the Northland now, and they're going to have a Star Wars celebration in Duluth.
You're kidding.
No.
That's super cool.
So that's going to be in January at the Shriners building.
sweet.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
maybe we could have Chopper done by then.
I mean,
That'd be pretty
he
sweet.
is. Let me pull up the stats here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is this what the print you've been talking about?
So I want to talk to you about some resin printing here, but basically
Yeah.
we have started printing a actual life-size Chopper. And David, do you want to run over some of the numbers here really quick? Did you
So,
bring any of the pieces down,
I
David?
did. I have half of the body
Do you wanna-
together. Or like
or-
half of the ring part of the body.
Where is it?
It's on the table downstairs.
Do you want to bring it up?
Yeah.
And then we'll go through it on
Yeah.
here?
Grab it.
Okay, so basically, I know over half of it's done.
110 prints completed, 103 remaining.
110 objects printed, 103 remaining so far.
So a little over half.
We're a little over halfway there. And so far, I think David said we're at 28 days of total print time.
But within a week.
Within a week, yes. Because I have 2 to 3 printers constantly running. And then, Chris, you have a massive build plate. You have the CR6 Max. And how many
And I have another printer running.
things have you slapped on the CR6? Like, what's the most you fit on the build plate? 30, 25, 20, 15?
84, 72, 36.
Like 24-ish.
Okay. And then David, well, no, David's not here. Duh. David's gone getting the box parts. What's your failure rate, Chris? 10%?
Well, no.
Five?
Well, I mean, if you count the starting 5 times in a row failure thing, because my build plate is goofy, it's a lot higher. But I've had 2 pieces that I need to reprint out of the 60 that I printed.
Oh, so less than 5%.
Yeah.
That's good. That's sweet.
That's awesome. Because even with mine,
Builder's mark. I'm so
Oh.
sad. I'm so sad. We're not done with Chopper yet.
you'll get there, buddy.
We'll get there.
Here.
We'll get there.
We can talk through your big feelings if you need.
Holy shnikes!
Good save.
Holy crap! There is no freaking way! I haven't got to see this yet. Holy boats! This is massive.
So sad.
This is insane.
I mean, I know I didn't print them that good, but you don't have to be that sad about it.
He hasn't even given you a single piece to play with.
Wow. Well, I'll hand you the whole inside. David, this is, oh my gosh. This is going to be how big it is?
Yep. And then so
Yeah,
piece
he's gonna be
7 is
huge.
the multicolor one over there.
Yeah.
But Chris has the other 3, so I can't connect it.
Oh, man, alive. This
That is
is
unbelievable.
So we have used, so this is
Not that you can
between
see it, but I got it.
just me, Chris, and Jeremy so far.
use this as like a seatbelt.
I think we started what? I think I started Monday night.
But the
That's
day that Jeremy started the
insane.
spreadsheet is the day that I started printing, I think.
So did you just upscale this from a smaller model?
Nope.
And
That-
send
This is
it?
the size of the
That was the
model.
size of the model.
Beautiful.
Yeah. No, so this guy, his name's Michael Badley. He does, it's community collaborative, it's a community project. So he has people help him, but not only does he just give you STLs, he gives you a link to all the files in Fusion. So the actual objects themselves, so you can manipulate them, you can edit them, and then he gives you the Arduino codes pre-programmed, all the sound effects. So all you do is you put it together, you print it and put it together and load it to the files, and this thing will drive around, it'll talk. It's got the arms that come out. I mean, like it's all there.
You didn't
No
bring the leg down,
way.
did you?
I did not bring the leg down, but the leg is
That would have showed some height.
that would have showed some height. Yeah, that's
I mean,
unbelievable.
it's going to be, what, like pretty close to 4 feet tall, isn't it?
It should
It's
be.
got to be close to
And
that.
that's about as big as me.
That's insane.
So far,
and
we've
just
been
piece
printing about
7
a
won't
week.
fit. There's not because Chris
it
is
will
not.
click in there.
Or is it go here?
No, it's gonna go to the other side. But the piece
I've got
8 goes next.
5 and 8, I think. 5, 6, and 8.
Okay, so
5,
this one would
7,
go
and 8.
here.
Yeah, down a little bit.
I'd
more,
help you,
yeah.
but I like to watch you struggle
Yeah,
more.
both there.
Crazy. Show some leg builders, Mark. You're so funny. I have the leg at home. I should have brought it.
So we've used 8,807.22 grams of filament,
Dang.
and we've spent a total of 29 and a half days of printing.
That's
In a week.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing what we can get done when you put your mind to it. So here's the deal. So we've done bigger prints like this before. So we've made 2 CNC machines. We've printed all the parts for. So what we do is we run a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And then we just start printing. And then what the spreadsheet lays it on all the parts. So now for the CNC, we just needed 1 tab. Each individual part of chopper has its own tab. So the body's a tab, the leg is a tab, the foot's a tab, and and then the dome is a tab. And then we just go in there, and then because it's a Google sheet, anybody who's like on the board of that's what Chip calls home improvement. He only knows it as the Ruh show, so it's really funny.
I have a neighbor who is it's like me and Wilson, where he'll come over, he'll talk on the fence. I purposely, when we rebuilt our fence, made a gate just for him so he can come right through.
Funny.
But anyway, sorry.
So he's pulling it up, so you can see who's done what, the layer height, the wall height, the filament used, the time used, and it's just a really good log to keep track of what's what. And then I know that I can hop on, and if nobody's taken the part yet, it's available. So all of those parts are done.
like your group.
Yep.
So let's say there's 10 of you.
Yep.
You're not accidentally going, I scraped a print. That's what I call it. Got a print off, and now I'm gonna start at this other one. You're not reprinting a leg.
Exactly.
God, that is
Exactly. So that's just 1 tab.
boy. The
So
power
this is the
spreadsheets,
body.
kids.
This is just the body tab is all of this.
Yeah.
Just the body.
If you go to the left foot, you can see Chris sliced a couple parts. So then now, when I get home, I'm going to slice some more up. I know he's already got those on standby, ready to print.
Yep.
But the fact that
Right foot untouched. Left leg also untouched. Right leg, Jeremy's basically got done.
Yep. The last couple pieces are printing right now as we speak.
Thing's gonna be.
Well, hopefully I've got it. I'm almost
And
there.
then dome.
But yeah, man, I'm already excited too because like, look at it's got all the like pre-spots for the shelves and where to put all the hardware to get everything together. That is unfathomably cool.
Well, and I mean, like, I don't know if I spoke on it before, and I've certainly spoke to people, but like to think, like, if you told kid self you that like I'm going to make toys. I'm going to make
Yeah.
games. I'm going to be able to print off just about anything I can imagine. Oh. And just at the tip, it sounds like science fiction. I know. I've said
Speaking of that gas gun that's on the table there, Jeremy and I designed it, and I printed and painted it.
Yeah. So Chris gave me the model, and we sat and he remoted in, and so that the person who originally did one similar to it, they had all the proportions wrong, and then they had like the. I mean, you did watch Darkwing, didn't you?
Don't be pointing that at me.
Yeah. So it's a.
Yep. So yeah, we like drew this up, and then Chris printed it and sanded it and finished it, and it came out absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
which is
that's
really
the first
fun.
thing I've ever airbrushed.
Oh, see, morbid story, true story. My dad was gonna teach me airbrushing because he had a bunch of kits and this and that, and then he died. So I haven't got right though. So I'm like, do you know how hard it is for a Ouija board to teach you how to airbrush? Like it can't even press the nozzle or anything.
Look how sad you are about it.
Perfect timing. Oh man. But not as sad as Jeremy. So, it didn't even work.
No, because I looked at you.
Jeremy was turning the other way. He knows how to defeat the pass.
That's
I when you have to deal with Fire Nation, you know.
Oh,
Get ready, Darrell, come on. Oh man, those are spicy. You can hit Darrell. He was really nice to you, Darrell. Look at all that shooting made me cry. It made me cry. No, but it does sound like science fiction. So my favorite thing has literally been the. I think everybody has to hop over and learn how to use like Fusion or Tinkercad or something along those lines, because as soon as you do that, it really unlocks the power of 3D printing.
Well, my sister was like, "Oh, hey, a dog chain of mine broke, or a poop bag thing," and she's like, "Do you think that's something you could make?" I was like, "Yeah, I can probably design that, or the 3D D6 bullet revolver, like." That sort of stuff, you can sit there and go, Tinkercad's my go-to. But I know one night when I was printing out pieces for All Hallows Eve, and like I'm putting on the gloves for the resin, and it's storming outside, and I've got all my Halloween decor. I'm like, I am a mad scientist. Like I'm creating these monsters out of goo, and it's just
FDM
My sister's
time lapses.
requested a life-size Stargate to be printed.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
Those are only like 20 feet tall. It's just a big circle.
So that's
like a 1/20th scale Stargate you got.
Do you know, honestly, it would not be that hard to print cut a Stargate out on the CNC with it 4x8.
Oh yeah.
Because you could do one huge arc. It wouldn't even take that long.
Three pieces, maybe four.
We could probably get that done in a week.
I want that to be the entranceway.
Done, installed, painted, all that.
Yeah. When you walk in the door.
That wouldn't be
that bad, because it's not like, you just cut the arch out. There's not a lot of like travel for the head to have to do to cut it out. But so it's blown my mind is for Chip's birthday party last year, Kara made a
perfect. I'll take two.
A Bumblenums cake.
Yeah.
And the one guy just got hair, and she was trying to make it out of frosting, and it broke. I happened to have the right color filament, and I just took a picture of the broken one. I traced it out, and I had one printed in like 30 minutes.
Yeah. And
then she just used that as the cake decoration to like pluck in the side of it. Mm-hmm. And then I just made Chip a Hot Wheels sign, and everybody says it's my sign, even though it's Chip's sign.
It's obviously not his. He didn't request it. He didn't pay you for it. You just decided to project this project onto your son because you need to not feel guilty about spending 10 million years of your life making it.
But anyways, I needed like LED straps to hold down the LED to the back of the sign. I needed a case for the. I'm running it off an Arduino Nano, and all of that. I just was able to print it, and it's like at my fingers. It's less time consuming. I had 10 LED straps printed in 15 minutes.
Right.
That
then
is
running to the store, buying them, and coming back.
Yep. And that's like X amount more money. It was like $5 for a small pack of them. I'll throw Marty's wallet at the project. I love it.
Thanks, Marty. Hey, Marty also said that he wanted to donate a non-substantial sum or a large sum, I should say, to Oak and Hollow Games.
Sick.
Yeah, Marty's a great guy.
I heard that too.
That's awesome.
If two people heard it on the internet, it's got to be true.
It has to be true. Yeah. He hasn't yet, but he's going to.
He's going to.
Yeah, via Gwen. Thanks,
Jeremy,
Gwen.
you should fire up Droid Cam, and Darrell, there's a couple of dies sitting there. You should roll those once Droid Cam is up.
Oh.
All right.
Do I see die?
Okay. Not for Builder's Mark. We need to talk offline.
I've got die in my
text,
pocket, so
because we needed
Yeah,
that.
2d6 is one blue and one red.
I got 2 green D6 in my pocket. What's... Oh,
Oh, where are the blue and red ones?
I don't see them. Did they get hidden or knocked off?
Check the floor, Jeremy.
Well, I have droid cam.
Did they get sucked up in the vacuum earlier?
Hold on, I'm quitting out of droid cam. You're just getting everybody's looking at you.
Yeah. Looking at me looking. They got books. The days. Oh, this was a saucy...
You might have to read that later.
What are you guys doing when I'm not on this?
Oh, we're gonna.
If somebody cheers 101 bits, we read a passage from the Forbidden Lore.
Holy smokes, this is a spicy cover.
So we might have to use your dice, Darrell.
Okay.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Well, how are we going to determine which one's red?
It's easy.
Oh, hey.
One will be first and one will be second.
Yep.
Want to do that instead?
Oh, hold on. We've got to do.
What's going on?
I've got dice.
You have to read a passage from the Spacey book.
Somebody just donated it. Okay,
Any
so,
passage at random.
so just open
Yep.
it up.
I've got some dice here. All right.
Here's the
Ooh,
pencil.
chapter 19. It's all gone 19.
Just one paragraph.
Angela waited anxiously in the dock, sitting on the large trunk filled with winter clothes. She had left the steamboat an hour ago, and Jacob should have been here to meet her. What could be keeping him?
Oh,
Mystery.
chapter 19.
Oh,
Chapter
yeah,
19.
You're supposed to mark the.
Oh, do I get to sign it or just mark?
You
where
must
I-
sign it. That'll
Just
be
mark that
fun.
it's read. Oh yeah, it's as read by Darrell.
All right, and it was. We're straight on chapter 19.
I love the purple lights. I cannot believe how fast all the lights are working now. That's unbelievable.
It's about time something actually worked here.
Is that still the Insta, which is zoomed in on him right now, or no?
No, that's
Oh, that's
his
it.
regular
That's
close-up.
there
There
we
you
go.
go. Signed in, pencils in. Beautiful. You guys want some more passages? You let me know.
Okay, so here's how this is
Okay.
gonna work.
Yep, I got.
Pick, or do you have colored? You got colored. He's got red and blue dice.
Well, I pulled out a skirmish. so-
The pips are red and blue. That'll work.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll work great.
All right.
I
let
should
me
have known Darrell just rolls with like 500 die on him.
All right, Darrell. You can roll them right there. Oh, blue one.
Blue one, you say.
Did you lose or did you win again?
I lost.
Yes! Yes! Somebody just got paid bank.
You are welcome.
Somebody got paid
I
bank.
wagered 50,000 tangent crystal.
Oh, Kara said no. I lost mini bits. Somebody won Cam's ankle.
man.
Is he gonna get on the laser brain? Who?
I'm so mad I missed that there was a prediction up.
Truant.
Holy boat! 69.6 thousand went to Ryan. Oh my gosh! That's a new record.
Loaded dice, man. What can you say?
That's
Ryan, you are
a
welcome.
big one. Holy boats!
See the only
Hold on, we got to see the full
Only
breakdown
one?
here.
I want to see the full breakdown. Dang!
No, there's a lot.
Woo!
Just remember what I did for you today.
Wow!
69,000.
So
Nice.
Ryan bet 2,900 and won 30,500.
Oh my goodness!
Gosh.
Look at these. Tricloud bet 10 and won 100. So everyone like 10x'd their bets basically.
Builder's Mark got 1,500. Cam's ankle got 4,200.
Cam got
Wow!
21,000. Ridiculous.
That is sick. Are you?
Dang, me and Kara and Glenn all got fleeced.
Kara went big. 12 grand. That's 2 in a row. Kara's lost. Should we do a laser brain haul a loser?
Yeah. You
Dang.
just have to put a poop emoji next to her name.
Oh, and some stink coming off of it. That's crazy. Well,
I will say, I know tonight's like for the boys, but you really let go off the leash when she's not here. She's coming home eventually. You're gonna have to make up for everything you just said.
oh, it'll be fine. And if she can't catch me right now, I can run away. As long as I'm within claw
Catch
grabbing
me outside.
distance.
How about that?
That was spicy. That was really fun. So that,
Cam's uncle redeemed become a VIP.
no way. Well, when you win big, you got to do
Yeah.
something with it.
We also have a wheel spin for Pete.
Do we?
Yep.
All right, here we go. I'll give it a spin.
Give me 1 second to engage VIP status here.
Well, that's fun.
VIP.
Cam's
Very Italian
Wolf's
pizza.
uncle. Oh crap! I actually have to put in his right username. Cam's uncle.
Just give it to some rando guy.
VIP number 7. Congratulations.
That is awesome.
A round of applause.
Ad break. Can I do the? Should we wait till the ad breaks
Should
over?
probably wait until the ad breaks over
Yeah.
for the wheel spin.
So on these ad breaks, I'm new to this format. Oh, hello. Did I hear someone?
Yeah. No, it was somebody we did.
I see. So does this pause and then
We got
sync
Obi-Wan
up,
Kenobi.
or are we completely off until the ad break's gone?
We are.
Pause.
If you're subscribed, you can still see us. If you're not subscribed, you're getting an ad.
Yeah. So until we're.
You get a little like picture-in-picture of us up in the corner, but you can't hear.
Stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking.
So this is like
nerd.
VIP talk right now. This is valuable airtime.
This
what
is
it
great,
boils
and
down
what a
to.
great time to get that VIP.
Yeah, fired it up, man.
Rock right into it, like you said.
Ah, I was summoned for money.
Your lack of faith disturbing.
Yeah, truant. It was funny because it said that you were finally here, so you were truant. They've changed the truancy laws in Minnesota as well, so keep your kids in school, everybody.
Is it harsher?
It's different.
Different?
I would be lying if I told you I was paying attention at my meeting. So I just hear it's a little bit different. Hopefully it'll be better. Yeah, you were summoned for money. Gwen said something about you wanting to donate to Oak and Hollow Games, which is really sweet of you. I appreciate that. We can always use a little bit more.
That's not how the Force works.
It is how the Force works.
Oh, no way. It is September. Thank you, D-Matt. So there's a humongous sale on subs right now, isn't there? You should
And
just
you
buy
can
your
buy
year.
more than 1 month worth of subs too, so you might as well.
You might as well stock up on your subs and you won't get annoying ad breaks.
Nice.
I love that it went red and I was sad. So, do you know the background to the we built the CNC because it made more sense. It was easier to build a machine to do the work for you than to cut these out by yourselves.
High off that $4.20 donation.
Thank you, Ryan. He's living off the lamb of the fat of the lamb here.
Yeah, he's going just ham. No, I mean that.
This is lamb bastard.
I'll just pull that one down. That was right in the nards.
Oh no, Darrell! Are you okay? Do you need a minute to breathe?
I might need a minute to breathe. That was a dead shot.
No!
Where did you get hit?
I was there last week in the Nards, he said.
Oh man. Okay.
He's gonna need a minute to compose himself. I know, I've been there.
So Marty Jr. Senior says if you have a ward time dragon, we can talk.
Yeah, I don't.
He's gonna need a minute. I'm not even kidding. It hurts so bad.
Mercy.
What can I talk about for a minute? Do we have a wheel spin?
We do have a wheel spin.
You can do a wheel spin while Darrell's recovering. I know what it's been, dude. Oh man. Do you notice? That's why I immediately shut and then I use them to block.
I didn't. I went arms up.
No. You gotta cover the
Hold on,
Nards.
let me do the dramatic wheel lighting.
We are in a level 2 hype train already.
Are we really?
I am sweating. I'm gonna see if I can even move myself over.
What?
Oh.
What? Spin times 4? Are you serious? Are you serious? Who is this for?
It's for Pete.
Oh, what? Are you sure this is for Pete?
100%.
What? Who let me spin that?
That is insane. It should be illegal.
Who let me spin that? Spin times 4. So how do we do that for a Lego walk?
You just got to walk back and forth 4 times.
I mean, I danced.
Darrell
on
did that for free. Oh boy, what if it's 4 movie reviews? Carrie's gonna be 5 movies behind.
If it's 4 giveaways.
All right, Darrell, do you want to
Or
do
did you
the
take
honors?
giveaways off the
I'll do
cost
2. You
off?
do 2. We'll do.
Oh no, it's just 1 and then it's multiplied times 4. So here you go. Unless it lands on a blank and then it's a respin, so we got to fill in the blanks. Bankrupt! Are you serious, Darrell? You just
What is that?
No, you times 4 to bankrupt. Oh
that
no!
Did I just hose this poor individual?
Yes.
Well,
That is amazing.
I
Oh,
giveth and
no!
I taketh away.
I can't even imagine.
I play Feast or Famine. Listen, I took one to the Nards, man. I got in a mood.
I just cut myself wide open on the wheel. When you told me to wait for the dramatic lighting, I went to stop it and I stuck my hand like this and the wheel was spinning.
Oh,
They
ouch.
cut me between the web of the fingers.
Oh, no.
Okay, I don't know what to do here. Like, I want to I want to spin it again, but technically that's like on bankrupt. How does it work in Wheel of Fortune?
That's the end of his turn.
Oh no!
I'm sorry,
4
man.
times bankrupt sounds like. What are the odds? What are the odds?
Hey.
Oh man!
Pete,
Well,
Pete,
the fact
Pete,
that, like, so hold on, I'm gonna zoom back in on that. If people look on that wheel, come on, wheel. Like, there's nothing that actually to stop it on the middle part, right?
Yep.
That is so lucky for it to just naturally stop in that middle wedge like that. It is so unlikely. And then the fact that he gets back around and hits the bankrupt after the fact.
I can't believe it.
And I gave it a fairly hearty spin.
You
but again,
did,
But
well,
again,
because it at least made it around 1 full revolution, just like in Price
I think
is
it made it
Right.
a couple of times around.
Man,
I
unbelievable! If it could have been 4 times the nerf darting, 4 times. I don't know how we would have did chat
As Stone
GPT.
Monkey says now it's just a 3 times.
Yeah, nice try, nice try. That's insane. If we would have did the 4 spins, right,
Yeah.
that would have made sense. But
So we're
it's just
75% of the way to a level 3 hype train. We got 50 seconds if people are interested to get that hype train going.
get on that hot.
show some love for Darrell tonight.
Yeah.
He's happy to be here.
Why not just let's get some sort of
Level 3,
interesting.
that's a good thing.
Some.
Not that I have any. And
Pete,
I'm
you
like,
don't lose all your crystals. You just lose the ones for the wheel spin.
Yeah. It just bankrupts, like, it's your wheel spin bankrupt. Uh-oh, number, Nard
Just let
covers.
me guard first.
Guard the numbers.
Woohoo! Yeah. You know?
It's a charged battery, Darrell. I apologize. The charged ones really, they hit differently. They just hit different.
It will never hurt as bad as that one. So,
Try not.
and I got to one up Matt, which is rare. So,
Do not.
So Cam, thank you. 5 gifted subs from Cam.
Oh,
and
thank you,
he also
Cam.
did another 101 bits. We need another passage from the book.
Ooh.
yes.
Pete,
where to
you just
put it?
don't get anything from
Oh,
the
you gave
wheel
it to me.
spin.
You gave it to me.
And now is this another random one, or do I just move on?
Yep.
You gave it to me, and then I ruined it. There we go. So
gonna
just
be-
another random, just flip anywhere. It doesn't have to be the start of a chapter. Just anywhere
No,
in the
I
book.
just got lucky on that one again. Oh, you had asked about other fandoms. The Dark Tower series, Stephen King is
Ooh,
probably my
I've read
biggest
the first
deep-
book, and I have not finished the series.
We could talk. That just happened on 24. Angela spent the rest of the day in her room. Most of the time was crying her heart out. It was pointless to think of what might have been. He hated her. She had only made him angrier by refusing to explain. But how could she tell him she loved him when he thought the worst of her? How could he tell him that why she let him make love to her? He would never believe that. He would have laughed if she had told him the simple truth. That's it.
Dang.
I like the personality or the persona you take on when you read from that book.
It's got to be a little bit smooth. Got a little.
That is smooth. That is smooth. Darrell, will you be around the day Ward is on the podcast? Created a Puppet
Yeah, and do you mind if you talk a little bit about?
No, let's talk
more?
about it.
I know they're going to, and I want to chat up Skirmish 2 here, but which might be damaged goods now. You guys.
Oh, it was away for a minute.
Okay. So I actually just did a review on Ward. Got some guys to play it. If you want to check that out, I'm gonna make you guys go to that. Maybe Chris will put a link here
I will dig one up for you.
in post. Should be on Oak and Hollow Games on Facebook. That's a plug for myself, anyways. Did a review on them. Super fun stuff. I think it's gonna go a long ways once things really take off here. And sorry, I see that they are spreading rapidly, so I expect that fire to catch. So
That's cool.
Oh, good. Now me and Jeremy are.
Bald and green.
Bald and green. So that was really neat. It's one thing that we have said we were never going to try and tackle. And I guess if I'm on with them or if we chat, then I won't go too much into it. But a trading card game is something that Oak and Hollow Games has pinky promised.
Oh, got it.
It is just such an incredibly difficult market to even hit, and
It's like trying to make an automobile, right?
it is. It's
You got your big dogs who control everything.
you have your big three.
Yep. Wizards.
and-
What's the other two?
You have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic.
Duh.
Yep,
Yeah.
are the big
So
three.
is Yu-Gi-Oh also Wizards of the Coast, or are they separate?
No, they're separate. They're
Because I know Pokemon and
something.
MTG are both Wizards.
now, yeah. Although there's an odd thing with Pokemon where I don't know if they have as much control over it as Wizards. I just recently started playing TCG again with my sister and brother-in-law, and loved it. It's refreshing. There's an interesting video online about how the Pokemon trading card game is kind of like old school Magic. For those of you who had played, back in the day, and I do really, really enjoy it. So, yeah,
Well, they have, just as a little, they have done really fun things. So they came out with Pokemon Go, Run.
Yeah.
And you could get a Pidgey and then peel it off and it would be a Ditto. So, the card has a false front. And if you look in the bottom left near the rarity, there's a little Ditto symbol. And if that's the case, you peel the top of the card off and it's a Ditto instead of it can be a Pidgey, a Rattata, and then a Rattata, and then
that's so
there's one
cool.
other one that it can be too. So just simple things like that, and then of course they're just really, and then the McDonald's and Pokemon did a team up.
Yep, I have a few of those still sealed.
It's just, they're fun. I like trading card games for me are the collecting aspect of it.
Darrell, did
good
you
catch
want
on.
the link of your review on the game?
Yeah.
Where you're at?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I will say going into it, I'm going to sit down and play a game with them.
Okay.
I reached out to some people in the community and got some, feedback, and we looked through the rules and watched the videos and stuff. So we played it as we took it.
Yep.
And then my review is a bit more from a board game developer side. Oh, I like this filter. This feels at home to me. So the review is a bit more on the developer side of things,
Yeah.
So for those of you who want to know a bit more about creating board games and some of the stuff that we look at when we're thinking about games, it might be an interesting look. But regardless, I'll let you watch the video. I want you guys to check Word out. I think it's going to be sweet. So
Well, I just, from what I've seen so far, I like I said, I like the collecting aspect of it. So seeing some of the cards is fun. And then how many come in a booster pack?
30.
That's phenomenal. That's
You're
a big
supposed to be able to
fat
buy
pack.
2 packs and be able to play against each other, right?
Yes. So, and again, I want to let them do the talking about their own stuff. But so from my experience, and I go into this in the review as well, it is $30 for a 30 card pack.
Okay.
And I have heard that they have an algorithm that they use to create these packs, so you're not just getting a bunch of chafe,
Got it.
And I that was a hearsay through somebody. Ooh, these are actually kind of fun.
I love googly eyes.
So oh man, now I'm distracted again. Me, my ADHD can't do this to me. I'm gonna be, anyways. It's an interesting premise that we could both crack a pack, and we have something that can be used almost like Keyforge in that way.
Okay.
Except in Keyforge you can't swap out your cards.
Okay.
In this one you can. I go in a bit to saying where maybe a starter deck would have been useful, 2 starter decks to get some of the basics. But there's a lot of fun to it, and especially for someone who actively plays the game, doing a sealed competition would be a ton of fun. It'd be an absolute blast. I think that's where that sort of deck is peak. I talk a little bit, but the drawback of it is you might not have some of the basics that really make some decks function. I'm not even talking all bad cards, but you might need a couple of things to really get it going.
Right.
And you might get a deck that's not suited towards your play style.
Okay.
So in Magic the Gathering, there's,
Grinding deck.
Yep,
Mill
there's
decks.
there's control decks, counterspell, aggro, and you build towards those.
Yeah.
So with a random deck, you're not sure
Right.
if it's going to match with you.
Right. Let me ask you this. This is just a complete tangent. So you named off a lot of Magic ones. Is there any play style in Pokemon, or it's just...
There's a few different play styles in Pokemon. Are you talking about different ways to play?
Yeah.
Yep. So they actually have a really interesting
chart, and I found 2, and the last one that was the most interesting to me was a raid battle. They have contradicting information on both their printout and their website to which one is which. They kind of re-upped it to make it a little more streamlined. Stripped away a lot of the stuff that was fun. But there was one where you would get one of the big cards that would have the 4 whatever, and you and your team would play against this pre-made deck that would flip out and do things to your Pokemon. Got it. So like this giant raid, or there's 2-player, you know, so like it's a tag team battles as well. So there are I don't know how often those things run in tournaments, but like all card games I play very casually. Yeah.
But
Chris and I are the same way.
Yeah. I'm just not a competition guy. I have a lot of fun with the collecting and the making my decks, and I don't care if I win or I lose. So that sort of thing isn't motivating to me anyways.
Right.
Like I try to win, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
So that competition, but amongst friends or you're at home hanging out with some people, like I love casual play for all sorts of games and card games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, we'll try to get Ward. I'm crying. We'll try to get Ward with an actual for sure date pinned down, and then we'll see what your availability is.
Yeah, that'd be
So you
sweet.
can hang out.
That'd be.
So do you want to take a minute, talk about Skirmish for a minute here?
Yeah. So, Skirmish is the second big game we've released for Oak and Hollow Games. It has been longer time coming than All Hallows Eve, but just by conception alone. Okay. So, Skirmish was the game that I was working on before I got the idea for All Hallows Eve.
No way.
Yeah. So if you go onto our page, you can see some of the history and some of the old pictures that we've put up there. But it was the first game where I decided I want to try to make something I can produce for more people.
Yeah.
And it was 10 years ago from the launch of Skirmish that I originally started working on it. Now, mind you, it was not 10 years it took me to make this game.
Right.
I worked hard for like a half a year, maybe just shy of a year on it. Got inspired by All Hallows Eve. That took the next 5 years of my life, and then selling the last 2. And then going, you know what, we need to expand our... Oh, I thought that was that gun again. Oh, I saw movement out of the corner of my eye. I'm sorry, sweetie. That wasn't you. That's a me thing. Not sure I'll do that to you. So we decided, you know what, Skirmish is going to be our next best bet in. All Hallows Eve, when it comes to like game weight, is a more difficult game. You have to be a gamer. Anyone can play it.
Yep.
But it is aimed at people who have played games and know how to play, and it takes some assumptions off of that. Skirmish is our more introductory level, like everyman game.
Cool.
It is. So in Skirmish, you have a team of 3 fighters, one of which is your leader. You pick your fighters out of a roster of 10 different types. So rogues, clerics, archers, jouster, duelists, bards, the whole 9 yards. And they each do something a little bit different. So I liken it to Magic Chess,
Okay.
where you're trying to get rid of the king, but instead of like, you know, the knight always moves in the L,
Yeah.
the bishop goes diagonal, you roll dice to see how far they'll move. If you end your turn adjacent, unless they have an ability, to an opponent, you kill that opponent's piece, and your goal is to wipe out the other leaders on the board. And in this, up to 4 people can play, and you pick your team by drafting order, and unlike, you know, in chess again, your king is always your king. That's the one you got to protect. In this one, you get to decide who your leader is. So, like Magic, you might have a better play style with the archer, if you will, as your character, or the thief might be the best king for you. And every game is so different just because of what you pick and what your opponents pick.
Right.
And with up to 4 people playing, it's a brutally fast game.
Crazy.
It's fun. It's probably 10 to 15 minute play time, and then, you know, you scoop, you get your new set, and you're into it again.
So we're all about making stuff here.
Yeah.
So All Hallows Eve, you resin print the figures, you get the cards printed. How much of this do you make yourself?
For this one,
I'm gonna open it up.
Well, okay, I'll say this. We try to use as many local businesses as possible in that regard. So I print so on our end, I print the pieces. So all the fighters, the bases, the barriers, those are all printed through us. And feel free to open that up and you can show things off. I have some painted ones in mine as well, if you'd want to see.
Oh, I see what you're talking about with the dice. That's why you would have the dice with you.
Yep, yeah. But I always try to carry a couple D6 on me anyways, just in case. And then here, I'll open up my mat. So there's the playing board there.
I like that. I like the colors a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, again, I think it draws some folks in. You have where you start, so your leader's always in the corner, and then your team always starts in this box. Once the battle begins, the skirmish, if you will, you go outside. The lines mean nothing. It's just a good starting reference. And if you're playing with 3 players, you have you'll start with 1 corner, 2 corner, and then the bottom square, the center square. So even at 3 players, the person in the middle isn't at a huge disadvantage as well. So we do order out for our mats. We use a local printer for our rule book. We designed a rule book and use community print here, and then Northern Printery prints off our stickers for the outside of the box. If I were to get the balancing act for someone at the amount of pieces I make in like games I make are, it's tough because I want to have as nice of quality as I can.
Well, the resin prints look phenomenal, Darrell.
Thank you.
They look really good. And so these are meant to be painted.
Yep, you can paint. So I have painted. They can be played without being painted. That's why. Here, I'm kind of jumping around on some of my stuff here. We'll get into the different colors I picked and some of the stuff, but you had asked out locally. Northern Printery does the stickers.
Okay.
And I was talking about boxes where if I have the company print the stickers for me and I buy the boxes from Uline and I hand cut them out and put them on, it saves me, and then that means the customer that much more money.
Right.
I think I can make a box for about $350, and if I were to get a custom printed box, it'd be about $14.
So I know that one of the issues you're running into is finding somebody who would make the boxes for you.
Yes. Yep.
And if you wouldn't have said it was a sticker, I wouldn't even have noticed.
That's awesome. That's really
because at
cool.
like first glance, it just looked like it was painted on the box, and I was like, "Oh, those are really cool."
Sweet. Well, good. I'm getting the same thing for All Hallows Eve. That's down there on the floor. That's my travel box, so it's a bit more scuffed up, but it works. It's nice. You know.
Right.
It comes with its parts, but that's, you are getting a game that's not going to be on every Target shelf. You get that fun, you get to support a local maker and local businesses through making it. So I think it's a cool way. But the pieces, so we went back and forth. This is the first time we had used colored resin.
Damn, thank you for the gift sub.
So we have red, blue, green, and white, and I wanted yellow, but you would be surprised how hard it is to find yellow resin. That's the water-soluble resin that I use for just a lot of different reasons. I'll stop crinkling that in the microphone. But we couldn't find a good yellow one, and I'm wondering, I don't know why. See-through clear yellow would be difficult.
So I'm just spitballing here, right?
Yeah.
When you look at everything that cures, like what protects your eye, it's yellow, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if light just has something to do with the way it cures, if it's just, I don't know.
It yellow, right. And I could see that. And the white works anyways, but at first we're like, oh, do we have all of the fighters as different colors? And that was just going to be changing resin tanks for that would have been just an absolute nightmare.
Yes. That's why you're talking about having 2.
Right, yep, and I had 2, so really now I can run, and I can run currently, so I can run 2 colors at a time.
Perfect.
So I would print all my fighters off in gray while one of the colors is going, and then I do 2 different ones because every time I switch a different color, I have to completely clean the entire thing.
That's one thing coming off of like a regular 3D, like an FDM, man. It is just easy to swap colors. It's easy your print's done, you play with it, but you'd never be able to print something that small with that resolution. So.
No, and that's the thing is the resolution on it is so nice. Like if you're looking at getting a game piece, those are what game pieces look like.
And
so what you need is 10 printers. You need a white, black, gray, and then one of each color.
It would be awesome. I would have to find the way to duct all that air out into like my poor neighbor's yard because I'm running 2 in the basement and I'm not even sure how eco-friendly that's going, but tell you what, it helps make the ideas.
Their kids are not getting any taller the older they get.
Gus was asking, have you played Memoir 44?
No, I have not actually.
Okay.
But do tell.
Is that a great one?
Is
that a recommendation that you make? And then True Saint said he's excited to try out Skirmish. And I'm excited to try Skirmish as well.
Yeah.
And this is for sale right now on your website?
Yep. So if you can find me on Facebook, also play Play, Game, Stay is going to have some online, so if you don't want to directly go through me, they have an online store. They have All Hallows Eve for purchase right now.
Okay.
Perfect time this holiday season. Halloween coming up, go buy a copy. They have a few left, so make sure you do that. I have a few copies as well. But yep, so you just contact me, send me a direct message, and I get your address, and we talk shop. And these are running for $40. All Hallows Eve goes for $60. We have some expansions, and for those of you who have both, we have a costume pack.
Cool.
So the fighters in Skirmish can be used in All Hallows Eve as trick-or-treaters.
That's a genius idea.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So think of it as like Renaissance Fair costumes. And truthfully, these ones were intentionally made to be a bit tougher than the average trick-or-treater just because, I mean, they're hauling around an axe. Like, come on. I got a barbarian. We're going to want to use it, right?
That's awesome.
So there is a costume pack as well that goes for $10 where you can use the pieces from Skirmish in All Hallows Eve.
That's genius.
So thank you. Yeah. I think, here, I'll let you look through
Yeah, let me look through them really quick.
Since you are a little bit more familiar with All Hallows Eve, Skirmish is so nice in the way that, like, I can explain the game in 10 minutes. We can get a game going, and we can bust out a ton in an hour. Where
It's really fun to see these in I wish we need well, I have backlighting, I suppose. Just kidding. No, so I can actually show these off on Droidcam because the art and the cards are really fun.
Thanks.
Your cards are like phenomenal quality.
Yeah, I appreciate. We work hard on doing it. Artist was one of those things where I was hiring out for some of our future games with Oaken Hollow. We're hoping to get some, but everything's pay. And again, I want to make it. We don't want to be cheap. We want things to be as high of quality as we can make them at a price point that's still affordable and worth it.
Absolutely.
Where, like, the peek behind the curtain, at cost, All Hallows Eve, I don't make much off the top.
Right.
But for me, I want to get the game out. I want you guys to play it, and I don't want to put it at a price point that's so ridiculously high just to make money off.
All Hallows Eve is your rotisserie chicken.
Hold on, I got a question.
Rotisserie chicken.
I'm having an issue here, guys. We're I keep on having a prompt to turn on carrot browsing, and I don't know what the heck that means. But every time I dismiss it, it tries to pop open again, and it's really disrupting my ability to run the show here.
Oh no.
Oh, do you have a bundle deal? Do you sell 2 for 1?
I have yet to have somebody do it, so it comes out to bundle deal. I'd give you the costumes for free.
There you go. So if you buy one of each, you get the $10 costume pack for free.
So that'd be an even 100, and you'd get costume pack for free, and you'd be able to play both games. Well, one game over. So
we're on Twitch right now, so I don't want to direct people over to other platforms all the time. But if you guys go to YouTube, you check out Rise of the Podcast, you search for All Hallows Eve, it should come up with a video where we did a review on that. And for Halloween, it's really fun because you play as a trick-or-treater. You have a trick-or-treater, and then you have, what would you call the person who plays the host or the...
So the chaperone.
Chaperone is what you called it. Chaperone, and they're responsible for all the monsters on the board. And the monsters try to kill the trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, flip that. So the chaperone has all the trick-or-treaters.
Got it.
Keeping them safe. They're trying to get candy. As long as there's one trick-or-treater surviving, that person wins the game. Everybody else gets to play as a monster with a unique monster deck. They all play different. We have an expansion one, Krusty Ray, and we are trying to get our first 2-pack expansion out by October, which is Graveyard Smash. So I would love to go into that a little bit as well once cameras are working.
Yeah, poor Chris. So I don't know what carrot browsing is. Can someone Google search that?
So I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm trying to pull stuff up so I can throw links into the chat for people if they want to see it. And I can literally I can't even, I have to minimize OBS to get over to my Chrome.
Strange.
And it's I can't right click and interact with anything with it. I have no idea what the heck's going on with it, but it's really ticking me out.
Hey, Stone Monkey said put me down for the full bundle, Darrell.
Awesome. Well, hey, sweet. Thank you. Yeah, we'll set you.
What's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can go to Oaken Hollow Games on Facebook, and then you'll find me, or Darrell Davey, so Darrell Davey on Facebook, and just contact
me. Message there.
Yep, send me a message, and we will talk details. We ship anywhere continental U.S. We do flat rate shipping, so it's like $17 to ship. At least one of the games. I haven't tried both, but We can talk details on that anyways too, since you're getting both if you need them shipped. But
All Hallows Eve is really fun.
I did post in the Discord the All Hallows Eve Facebook page.
Oh, perfect.
Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And
Sometimes it'll
local to Minnesota.
Oh, cool. Yep. Speedy is pretty good too. I kind of try and check for which one's cheaper.
Yeah.
But typically the other one is. But or we can meet up. You say, hey, meet me in Hinckley or wherever is medium for us, and usually I can run somewhere. So that's awesome. Yeah. So that's sweet. I love that. You got the first bundle. No one's bought the double yet, and it prices out to exactly $100, which is kind of nice. So
that is cool.
Yeah, makes it easy at cons. So,
but you can watch how to play it online, and then or take a minute and talk more about All Hallows Eve too.
Yeah. So we have a few expansions out for that currently. So we have the Krusty Ray, which adds another monster in, so people can, it either adds one more player. The game is designed to open Halloween the Egg Bet. So you don't need to get expansion trick-or-treaters to play it. You can slot Krusty Ray right in there. That said, there is a expansion of 4 trick-or-treaters as well. Gives you the robot, the thief, the burglar, robot, the fairy, and the angel. So for the chaperone, it gives them some more options as well. And then if you'll hand me that box right beside you.
This one?
Yes. So this is where all of our demos, live as we are going. I have the world box, which has everything that we foresee being in the game as is. And then our demo boxes are just playtest items. And the fun thing is we just recently got cards. So this is the first printing of our... I'll show you what I can. I have them all sleeved and they're not new. So this is what a monster card would look like. It gives you some details about this. This is Geist. So we have a ghost coming in, and we also have Zed, which is zombies. Cool. So if you look on our group, you can see a playthrough for some of these and get some better details. But the ghost can share squares with other trick-or-treaters, so it makes them less powerful if it's sharing a square. And it also has some pretty powerful, warping abilities as well. It's really... Sorry. This was not practiced. And then...
It never is.
No.
It never is.
And then the Zed is the zombies. And trying to get the glare off. They have a mechanic whenever they eat a trick-or-treater, you replace that trick-or-treater piece with another Zed token.
Cool.
So
that's awesome.
Yes. So it slowly makes more and more... get that out of there. Slowly makes more and more zombies as you play.
So these are the ability cards that he's showing that you end up drawing through as you're playing your turns as the monster.
Yes. Trick-or-treaters, they have abilities and defense. They can get... in this pack, what's kind of fun is you get some more candy. So all of this interchangeable or interconnected to the original game. So you need the first one to have this one. But... you can add these monsters in the old game, the old monsters into this one, swap trick-or-treaters, add the candy. So, let's see.
You have delicious peanut butter cups? I can't remember.
I don't have delicious peanut butter cups yet, but that's a good name for them because I have to watch out for copywriting. But I have wax candy, so it's like the wax bottles. ABC gum, or this is popping candy because I couldn't use Pop Rocks.
So you can call them Snap Pebbles.
Snap Pebbles. Man, I had to. Where were you doing play tests? We need those kind of names.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll get into a bit of what we do with playtesting too, just so folks who are new to it can see. ABC gum lets you reuse a card. Because already been chewed gum, pulls one out of the discard, and then Hot Tamale does some damage to monsters. So a lot of very themed on brand cards for Halloween. So a lot of people liken it to playing out a horror movie, and it runs different every time.
Right.
And now with even more trick-or-treaters and monsters, that only
Before
increases.
you close that up, do you have the bee in there?
Oh, the bee is in this box.
I have a story about this. So one of my all-time favorite Dungeons and Dragons characters I've ever played got his name because of your game. And I know you've heard this before, but
Yes.
I love telling the story. So Marty, my sister's husband, and his friends were playing All Hallows Eve, and I kept hearing him say something about Big Digby, and it's like, I gotta go get Big Digby, and it's like, who the heck is Big Digby, right? And he's like, of course,
Ad break, yeah.
But of course, he's saying
Here, Darrell, show the
Big Dick B. Right? So it's like everyone's obsessed with getting the B, right? The B has to get got, right? So he's like, I gotta get that B, right? So I thought he was calling it Big Digby, and I thought it was such a fun name. So I made this this rogue character that thinks he's like this amazing pirate, but is terrible.
It's just trash. Big Digby.
Big Digby. So big with 2 G's. Big.
Yeah.
And then Digby.
I love that we can inspire that kind of stuff. And the bee.
Oh, there he is. There's Marty. The bee.
Yeah, I mean, people go after that bee for no reason. Like, as a designer, watching people play your game is always a little nerve-wracking. Halloween's, yes, it could be. I love that. Because you never know how they're going to break your game or what they're going to do. And in this game, more often than not, I'm questioning, like, why do you have this undying hatred towards this bee? Is it because he's a fat kid? Like, is that a thing? Are you fat shaming? It's 2023, man. But, like, people will hunt the bee down.
I think Kara loves the bee.
Yeah, well, and that was the thing. It's like she was playing a monster, and she's like, I don't know if I want to kill the bee. I was like, that worked.
It was so there's like there's those statues, right? That people bring bronze statues in the park, and then they go up and they touch like either the feet or the hands or other parts, and they'll all be worn. Mm-hmm. It's like you'd never know, right, what people be drawn to, and it's just weird how people have a preference.
Right?
They'll just be randomly drawn to.
Mm-hmm. Or the gambler's fallacy, where they're like chasing one trick or treater down, they keep missing, and they just can't get it.
Oh, yeah.
And they just like, I'm just gonna keep. They'll pass other trick or treaters that they could easily nab up to go after that one because of that vendetta. I mean, very fitting for a monster. I mean, Michael Myers keeps coming back year after it.
Right.
Hey, baby. Not that one. But he's adorable.
That's such a good reference.
Thank you. So yeah, it is really neat to watch people play. And now the new trick-or-treaters, there's Mummy, the Creation, which is like a Frankenstein monster, a werewolf, a witch, a pirate, a ninja, and a scientist. And there's one more. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But they all bring new things to the table.
It's really fun.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun to make. So we're hoping to get that out by October. So that's All Hallows Eve. It's a double feature, like the movies. Graveyard Smash.
Got it.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you. I think I already know the answer to this, but okay. So you use your resin printers to print stuff for your games.
Another bundle.
That's Ashley.
You
got one coming from me too.
Nice.
Ashley.
Sweet.
Look at you selling all these
So
bundles.
you just sold your first and second bundle.
Bundle.
How
Nice.
fun is that? So, do you ever print anything for yourself in the resin print? Well, you said you were going to print that revolver, but is there any fun personal project you had?
That was a project for our friend. Even he
Yeah.
paid me to do that. So no, it's incredibly rare that I print something for myself. I printed some trees off, but it was for like these like haunted crooked trees.
Yeah.
But it was for promo shots of All Hallows Eve. I've printed a couple little things off for my girls.
I was going to say, who doesn't have a 3D printer that doesn't print stuff for their kids?
Right, you got it. Like it's what you would have wanted. Like I
made a car for Marty Jr.
See,
right.
I made a giant Pikachu piggy bank for one of my daughters, and then a just regular piggy bank for the other one.
Exactly, and it's so much easier. Like, I want this kind of toy. No, here's a specific toy I can like design for you.
Oh yeah,
exactly how you want
Stormtrooper helmet last Halloween.
Yeah.
Costume.
Yep.
That's right. You made it the right size and everything for. Was that for June?
So cool.
Grace wore it.
It was for Grace. Yeah. That's super cool. Printed all the Flexi for my kid. I've just printed the Flexi Rexy for Chip, but
and
then the unit like the Infinity toy, like the 3 rings that roll fidget toys.
Yeah.
Cam printed some really cool. He printed an Infinity Cube fidget toy in TPU, and that turned out phenomenal.
So
it turned out phenomenal. It is. TPU.
I was just going to ask if you could do those flexi things with the TPU. It sounds like it'd be a pain in the butt.
We have to ask Cam, but the way that they print is really fun. So builder marks it. Yeah, I printed all the Flexi Rexys for my kid. Printed Conquest off running with TPU. Cool. That's really cool. Yeah, the TPU turned out great. You'll have to get into FDM at some point.
I will.
Because the barrier to entry is way smaller than resin.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just go straight to SLS and drop $30,000 on the centered laser.
Marty's supporting it, so it's on his.
Oh, there we go.
Right. Remember, that's the donation. So thanks,
that's perfect.
Palzer. But yeah, no. So it is rare that I print something out for myself, but I'm doing what I love. So I mean, like, in its own right, I am printing off stuff for myself because I get to give people those game nights that like I cherished as a kid and still cherish to this day, and get people around a table together, like go to super tough on everybody. I don't know if I can say that. I remember that being a Walmart word.
No, you're good now.
Okay,
Walmart
good.
Word?
Yeah, the
COVID. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
it's been so long.
I didn't. Almost. Anyway, we're not getting into it, but you lost that space around the table, and everything went digital or online, and there's not. You know, that's fine too, but there's something different from being around, and especially something like this that you can pull it out of the pub and sit at a small table and play it, and you know, in between drinks and have that fun, and it's just like that connectivity that it brings is cool to me.
Yeah.
So, and I know that's like but it's true. Like that's why it's fun for me to do what I do.
I have a fun story for you.
Yeah.
Can I pause you before you start your story?
Sure.
Have you considered the All Hallows Eve random map generator app for like an iPad or something?
So would it completely?
You wouldn't replace the tokens or anything. It's just the map.
That would be interesting. That would be kind of cool. I'd have to.
Just throwing it, like, it could be something in it, because I know like some people are like, oh, it's hard to keep it all straight and whatever.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and here's the thing, like for playtesting, I have a big, I call it the world map, and it can play up to 6 monsters total. So 6 monsters, but that we split up 2 chaperones, which are some like light rules because it's so rare that you'd split a chaperone rule. But yeah, it was nuts. It was a super fun game to play.
Is that
but
like
it's
play mat?
Yep, it's in a big picture frame.
Got it.
So I just took the back out, glued all the town in, and I made it like cyclical and schmucked it on there. And now it's kind of nice because you roll and everything stays on. And the fun part to that is you can go like, oh, I know, like this is a good shortcut for me to go through.
Right.
Because now it is always the same map. For those who haven't played All Hallows Eve, there's actually, this is actually a really cool example. So the maps are 2-sided, and
typically you use 4?
Yeah, so it's 2 per monster playing.
Got it.
So everything increases. So in theory, like if you got all 16, 17 monsters that are eventually coming out, you could have that many people playing.
Yeah.
And it all, in theory, would still work. So it scales up. So it's 2 tiles per monster playing, 4 trick-or-treaters per monster playing, 4 candy that they have to collect, and then like an item or lights out, whatever. It's all in the instructions. But the tiles are 2-sided, and normally, this is from Graveyard Smash, you'll get, you have 2 different town sizes, so they can be positioned in different ways. You can flip it over, you can have a different, like, one might be an X, one might be a T intersection, a straightaway. So all of that varies, and that helps keep the meta out of it.
Yeah.
So like if it was just a normal map and I accidentally made a spot that was like, oh, a monster can camp here and just snipe all day.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bad feeling. It's a hard thing to play test. So I like having the flexibility of moving it.
And every playthrough will be different then.
Yeah.
Or can be.
Yep. But the fun part about having them in like the picture frame like I have, or you find a way to print them out onto an actual thing, is that then you and your friends could have that strategy. Right. So I did, and there's a few houses available too if anybody else who wants to hop on this. This fall, we are going to be doing more of it, but you can buy a house on the world map, and as we're playing live, we'll call out whoever's house is in the world. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So you can kind of make your own town and your own world up. And like, oh, that's Old Man Jenkins' house, and everybody always dies in front of Old Man Jenkins. So for our streaming instructions, yeah, no one needs instructions. I could go on a long time about writing instructions because it sucks. But in Graveyard Smash, what we wanted to do for any of our double features, they're usually in a different location. And we were originally going to have these, like, candy cards might be, like if we were doing the Cabin Fever, like candy cards would be cabin cards, and instead of, they'd be campers instead of trick-or-treaters, and then it's just like they do the same thing, and it's verbiage people have to remember, so it's messy. And so... including with like, do different maps do different things, and like we'll add different terrain elements, like there'll be woods and water coming eventually. But we did Graveyard, and originally I was going to have it where it was a self-contained thing that you would add to the board, and it would always have to be in like a square, and you would choose these like path sides, and they'd both be the same, and it would fit in. And I played a game called Zombies growing up. That's what got me into making board games. And their expansions could slot in, but they'd bring different win conditions and different rules, and it was just, again, another level of stuff that was just too much to memorize at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think different terrain pieces, again, like water or what's on the map? That could be cool. We'll chat on that too. There's a few houses left, so we'll chat. It's a donation. Recommended like $5 or up, but it's however much you want to donate. We'll take it, and that helps fund future projects. So that's what we do that for. You get some sweet shout outs. But what was a bummer is like we were playing on this zombie map, and things just didn't make sense. It's like, there's a part of a carnival here and part of a graveyard up here, and it was just disjointed. So what we did for these double features is one side has a new layout that's not in the regular All Hallows Eve game, but is in the style of the town. Mm-hmm. And then the other side is our area-specific map with the exact same layout. So you're not missing out on any game experience because it's just different colors, but like this other side is themed to look like you're inside of a graveyard.
Yeah.
So you'll get 4 tiles for that, and you'll be able to play in the graveyard. It'll look sweet. You'll be in there. You could have a graveyard in your main town, or if you want everything to look cohesive, you just flip it and it's your main board, and it's really fun. Still a new layout. There are some rules as to like where things could be laid out, so I don't know that map editor exactly how that would work with that, but something I'd certainly be interested in looking into because I think it could be fun.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I could go on for days, and I probably ran a couple of tangents there already, but yeah, I guess any other questions on that or Skirmish, anything?
If you guys have any questions, Darrell is very approachable, so you get a hold of him. He'll gladly hook you up. We've already got two new handouts. David, you and I'll have to play Skirmish.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. If I wouldn't get in super big trouble with my wife, I could maybe teach you guys quick. I said it takes 10 minutes, right. So...
Skirmish is insanely fast.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Chris,
I was there for the playtest day of that, or the first playtest day.
Yeah, let them talk on it without me saying it, because it's one thing for a designer to be like, oh, my game is great, because of course it is. It's the best game in the universe.
Right.
Obviously. But Chris, what were your thoughts on it?
Well, so I went over there and I didn't really know like what to expect or whatever. And of course it's like, there's all new people, whatever. And it's like instantly, because you have something to do, like it's like even a nice icebreaker type of thing, right? So it's like somebody's like explains the rules and like, okay, and then like you try a thing and it doesn't work, and like after you play a couple of games, you really start like getting the flow of what's going on and like developing, like you have like that, like the gamer mindset of like, okay, I see people doing this, so if I make them think I'm doing that, then I can do this, like. Kind of like setting your stuff, like, and like understanding the power level of different pieces. I remember our play group came to a totally different conclusion than a different one about how powerful, like one of the jousting piece was versus somebody else and everything. And it's just like, so it's interesting how different like permutations of play groups even find different pieces to be powerful.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was one of the most interesting play tests I've seen, where there was 2 separate tables, and there was, I think, a total of 4 games, but one table had glommed onto the fact that this one piece, I think it might have been the thief, was just like the best piece, and you'd be stupid not to take it. And nobody's using the duelist. Maybe look at the duelist. It's not working for our table. Meanwhile, the other self-contained island, like Darwin and all those little birds over here, is like, the duelist is the best piece. You're an idiot if you don't pick the duelist. Like, it's on everyone's team. And so it was weird that like there's a table meta, but there's not a game meta.
That's hilarious.
Which, yeah, and since then, so originally we were going to have 4 copies of each one, which again is that much more printing, that much more time and money that would go into it. But what came up at the playtesting was a drafting method where Skirmish can play up to 4 people, but there's only 2 copies of each fighter.
Right.
So it's you pick your leader, and then everybody picks one of their teammates, and then their second teammate. And so if you are like, I hate when you have the bard, and I'm going to make sure that I pick up the bard, so that's at least one less chance if I know you're down in that snaking order.
Got it.
Like where I could screw up your game by just taking the pieces that I want.
Right.
And then the pieces too, like there are people who play very defensively, so they like having like some of the wizards or some of the other pieces that can shoot from a distance, or other people who are just all aggro. And it was very, very intentional of this piece itself does one thing. The knight, or the thief moves diagonally. But that plays out very differently depending on who his other 2 teammates are.
Right.
Like 2 thieves and an archer is a super aggro team. A thief and 2 wizards who pop up these barriers that can protect. Does the game have character tokens? Yes. Yep. So they're all individual.
Those are the first things that they were showing off. I don't know if you want to show them off again.
Could we do a droid cam on these? They'll probably be able to see a little bit better. I've got my painted ones here. So they don't come painted. I would be blind if I tried to paint. Oh boy. We're going to see where everything goes. So there's like the barbarian. There is a knight. There is, I'll do the necromancer and the wizard. So they all look different enough, and like chess pieces all are fairly similar. So if you can tell chess pieces apart, you'll be able to tell these apart. An archer and a cleric.
I believe we were using unpainted things.
Correct.
It was very obvious what everything was after like the first time you played.
And that's good to hear. In any game, you're freshly learning something. So and they all fit into these token or these slots, so that you'll have a team that'll be your team color. So all of your fighters will be in these. When they die,
the pointy one's the king.
Yep, the pointy one's the king. When they die, they get flipped over. Chris, you'll be happy to hear that both the necromancer and the barbarian are added in. So the necromancer can move the bodies around as kind of like a mini barrier. But that's how you tell your team apart from the other people, because you might have a team very similar to someone else. So we had to find a way to differentiate. And on the bottom of the bases and on the bottom of these, let's see, there is a small hole that, with maybe a little bit of love, you can put the rare earth magnets in, and it'll schmuck the base right to the character.
Got it.
So then when you pick them up, I usually just pick them up by the base to move them, but so that's if you want to, I made that like convenience for people to be able to put
That's
it right
cool.
in there.
It's hilarious to me how many people are like in chat being like, "Hey Darrell, I sent you a message on Facebook." He's like, he'll check it when he's done.
Yeah, I am so zoned in. Like I start talking, I get blinders on when I start talking games.
It's cool how many people are excited about this. Like these are both really fun games.
Well, thank you.
Like,
yeah.
So this isn't like like me making suggestions for like how to like change the game, but I almost wonder if there's like a game variant you could do for All Hallows Eve where there's almost like a dungeon master type of thing that takes you through like there's like an event that's happening during the Halloween thing and someone's like guiding you through, because like the games can be quick and they can be sort of like there is a lot of variance in the length of games for that. And I think it's like I've done a couple of D&D one shots that were like designed to be like 2.5 hours long, and it's like a perfect length of time to do something kind of spooky and fun. So it's like, I don't know if that's something you've considered, but because you wouldn't need any extra pieces or anything. You just need like that guiding steps of like, here's how you set up this game to play this specific event and all that.
And I think that would be really cool. So if we're talking on All Hallows Eve side, I could see that working well. Like you have to survive with so many trick-or-treaters through these 4 rooms. Each room is a different tile, and you have to make your way through, and each tile has a monster that you have to defeat before you move on. Something like that. Skirmish in the rulebook has several ways of play, and then there will be a Q&A or a fact sheet on our Facebook page too for different variants of what people like to play. So we have like big teams where if you're just playing with 2 people, you pick 1 leader and 5 extra fighters.
Got it.
And then you just use 2 color bases to remember which one's your color bases. There's Wild Wizards where it changes the rules. Like right now, you can either move one of the wizard's barriers or you can move the wizard, and that's for a time sake. So someone's like, well, I can move my wizard 3 or I can move my barrier 2. It just takes too long. So right now it's binary, it's either or. But we wanted to put in the rules that once you've played a few games, if you want to have that minutia and that kind of finesse with those, you can. Just know the game might take a bit longer because someone's thinking more.
Right.
So yeah, well, type in enter giveaway.
Well, so we are sponsored by Polymakers, so each week we get to give away one roll of filament, which is like awesome.
And
we're
talking about so many fun 3D printed things, we might as well give some people the benefit of at least getting a spool of the finest FDM filament there is out there.
That is really exciting. I just cannot believe how big this droid is going to end up being. This is like the highlight of my night right here. This is so cool. Because he's going to be massive. What's fun too is this gives you a lot of room to run the wires and like mount all the hardware and everything that you need to add to this.
Once I got 2 pieces done, I stuck one of my empty filament rolls, spools there.
Yeah.
And it fits inside with room to move.
That's gonna be crazy. I will bring the leg down next week. I'll show some leg next week.
I'll bring that leg down there.
All right, so we're gonna do a couple things here to wrap up.
2 wheel spins.
So we have 2 wheel spins we have to do. Oh my goodness gracious! We've got there's a mouse droid coming. Let's see, Chris, can you go to the wide? Or we're gonna break it.
No, I can't because of the.
No. Maybe he'll come back in a little bit. There is a mouse droid to drive around. Okay, so we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. So we're going to try to get the local Star Wars Celebration, Star Wars Club on, the people who do Ward on, and then we're going to try to have Matt on for the Halloween episode. And our Halloween episode ends up being...
Matt's already confirmed for the 28th of October.
So that'll be insane, because what Chris pulled off last year was unbelievable. And then, so those are kind of like what's on the docket for coming up there. We have... the 3D printer chopper, we're going to have updates on each week, which is a big deal. But one of the things I was going to tell you about, remember, my funny story is, were you excited for the Lord of the Ring Magic cards? Did you get any?
I did, actually. Yeah, so I'm going to keep this as quick as I can. I only play Commander now.
Yeah, that's what Chris is as well.
Yep, it's the best format. It is, period, now. Especially for a group of people, it has more... It's just so much fun to play the table, you know, and all the politics that go into it. And I'm like, I'm never buying another box again. I'm just buying singles, and I'm only doing this because I'm not happy with Wizards right now. And then like
unjustifiably outrageous secondary market prices for their cards. These are pieces of cardboard. I shouldn't have to pay more than like $5 for one.
Well, even for like what you were getting even 5 years ago, you're getting the exact same product, and they've pumped it up how much more. We won't go into it, but like as soon as I'm never buying Magic straight again, and they're like Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, here's my wallet, the whole thing. So I split a box with a buddy and got a couple, one of the Commander decks.
Yep.
Because again, I wanted to play Commander. I got Riders of Rohan, and that's one we're going to be leaving as is, so we can just have like Lord of the Rings themed nights.
Yes.
But yeah, I did. I was really excited for that. I liked them a lot. So.
Kara and I bought a box, and on Chris's request, not on request, his advice, said buy one to just put away. So we bought one to just put away. Now, somebody found the ring, not a big deal, but...
I am so happy Post Malone got it. In my heart, that's where I thought it was going to end up going.
Did you know somebody tried to outbid him?
There's no way.
Yes. No, there was a billionaire from Spain, a Spanish man, who offered the same price, and then Post Malone bumped it up, I believe, like to 2.1 or
$1.
And here's the thing. Now with Post Malone having the one ring, we'll finally get to know what would happen if Tom Bombadil was given the ring.
Yeah, right.
Like, it is the perfect fit. I am, any rich guy who's just going to hold on to it and sell it. Boo, there's a money scheme. But the bad side for them is those secret pack layers that they were, now they're making too many types of packs even. Yeah, I can't even keep straight what packs are what.
It's like every 3 or 4 weeks, it's like, oh, here's a new set. Oh, here's a Modern Masters 3.
Yeah, and is it a booster draft? Is it a play draft? Is it a legacy?
Yeah,
is it a
different types of packs? Yeah. Is it a collector pack? Is it a draft pack? Is it an event pack?
Mm-hmm. But the what you could pull the ring out, people were buying for like...
I got bamboozled. I didn't even get the right packs. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, because those only came in collector packs, and you got set...
I got regular draft pack, or not draft, sorry, regular 15 card Set packs? Is that what
I
they're
think
called?
yeah, I think they're just set packs.
Yeah, but once the ring fell, the secondary market price, because like they're only pulling packs to buy the ring. Like they can get everything else. They just wanted that shot at that ring, that crack, and it's.
Yep. But it was really fun to see how they did a phenomenal job on the artwork and the lore and the theme of the cards to the play style.
Rat pack. Jetpack. So I
even Cam got collector packs.
The list that I had, but it's like I saw this was like Rat Pack, Jetpack. I don't buy that.
Black pack, or backpack, hard pack,
fanny pack.
They should come out with a fanny pack.
That'd be like the next unset would be the fanny pack.
I'm gonna keep all my magic. I do a stepdad day every year at the end of the school year, where I mustache up and wear like my pants tucked in and my high socks and my. I am ashamed to say how incredibly useful a fanny pack was to have around those days.
Sure it is.
I'm just like digging stuff out of it. Like, cool, I got a place for my keys, my wallet, I got this pencil, and I'm like, fanny packs are so great. Yeah.
For shame.
Yeah. Yep. You should.
That's pretty good though.
You're too old to be making jokes like that, sir.
Anyways, so here's my funny story: is I'm not even remotely joking to you because I bought a box, right? So the box came in a Magic the Gathering Wizard of the Coast cardboard box.
Yeah.
My mailman delivered it, and he's like, do you like Lord of the Rings? Do you like Lord of the Rings? Did you get to Lord of the Rings Magic? I said, yeah, this is Lord of the Rings. He goes, you have to let me know what kind of cards you got in a couple days. So I saw him a couple days later, and I'm not kidding. He dropped the mail off. We shot the breeze for 15 minutes. I talked to my mailman about Magic Lord of the Rings and how excited he was and some of his favorite cards that he got.
And to go back on kind of what we have spoken about with like 3D printers, like it's amazing how culturally acceptable it is. Like, could you imagine having that conversation?
No.
A mailman.
No.
Ever having that conversation with you as a kid?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's some questions about why the mailman's talking to kids in the beginning.
Right.
Mr. McFeely. Mr. Rogers has gone on record saying that was a bad choice of name. But right, like now it is culturally like, hey dog, you got these Lord of the Rings, like let's talk, and it's so nice to have that community and to have that.
Well, and it was like you have a bunch of people, right? You're like, I'm never buying Magic again, and you're like, besides Lord of the Rings, it just was a nice little, no wonder what.
Yeah, that's exactly.
He's too busy talking to me about Magic and Lord of the Rings. Anyway, that was a really fun little thing for me. All right, let's do the giveaway, and we have 2 wheel spins. Let's do the wheel spins first.
First one is for Cam.
Let me get wheel spin.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Oh, blank. You get a respin.
It likes that.
Chat GPT Theater. You want to pull one of those up, Chris?
So who's
Cam?
Who's
That was for Cam. Okay. Next one's for Ryan.
Frickin', I can't get.
Because of carrot browsing?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get it to work.
Another ChatGPT Theater for Ryan?
Oh, okay,
Damn.
so give me 1 second to see if I can get this to work. If it doesn't, we'll have to do it at the beginning of next week's episode or something.
Then in the meantime, type in bang, enter in chat for your chance to win a free roll of Polymaker Filament. And they are behind. So David, would you talk about that for a minute? Like what happens when you win on Moana?
Yeah, I mean, they can take up to like a month to get to you.
Or basically you've gone back in and just re-entered it?
I've re-entered.
And
then he gives it to me twice.
So if you don't see anything, it seems like they go away. They'll log on, they'll get it all done, and then it'll be a while. So
there's something like sitting on the keyboard over there or something.
No.
Just his massive.
That's like
ego.
literally, I can type one character. Okay, ChatGPT Theater is just gonna have to be saved for next.
Okay. We will get to those.
So I'm looking here at giveaways when I was gone. You got a bunch of people with no info. Did you get their info?
It's around. If not, I'll get a hold of them on Discord.
Okay.
If they're not around.
I see like RJ was Polymaker last week.
I have RJ. I think I have RJ's info.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
now like absolutely nothing's working. Hold on, give me 1 second here.
Well, liar! Yeah, you are lying. Those are well timed tonight. We can just lean in, do the chopper lean, So I've been a One Piece fan since I was super, super young. Now live action is hitting the market, and I'm forcibly steering. I have not got to watch it yet, but live action anime notoriously sucks.
Yeah.
So it's a low bar to get over, but this thing is taking the world by storm, and it makes me so happy. So
What was the other big one that was just came out to Netflix? That was live action.
Cowboy Bebop, and it was
That was trash
It
too?
was absolute garbage.
Ah.
It had so much potential, and it could have been. And of the ones
High
to
tactile.
do, it could it could have been an easy one for them to make. But
There's
Hey.
a different camera angle.
Opa,
No, everything's just absolutely bricking on this computer right now, and I don't understand.
Oh, hi,
I'm gonna
Susan.
draw for the winner here.
Hold on. Let Susan enter.
Oh, Susan, hit bang enter.
oh, I'm not that sad to see you. I'm sorry. It's just.
Can you go to the
chat.
wide, Chris?
Somebody redeemed a Snapchat filter.
Oh. Whenever the mouse droid wants to make his appearance, it's just...
Oh, who redeemed that?
I'm so sad that we're...
Ryan.
There's no way for me to check anything right now.
It was Ryan.
Oh my goodness, and then Ryan...
Okay, it was Ryan. Okay, so if the mouse droid just wants to go through, we can look at the mouse droid.
Mouse?
I don't know if people are going to be able to see him. Oh, there he is. He can shoot missiles at people. You know that? That's what's crazy.
You know, with my luck and missiles on this show, I would prefer him not.
Yeah.
You're a cute little guy. Did they ever make any cat droids?
I don't know. You know that? Well, they have the Lothal cat,
Fair. That's fair.
which is pretty good. Look at, he opened his blast doors. He's out of missiles, though. He's out of missiles.
Thank
I'm
God.
gonna hold him up. Chris, give me a close up and watch his little blast doors open here. Here we go. Hey, buddy, can you open up your blast doors? Look at that! Oh man, he means business.
That was right down the barrel.
Look at that! Why didn't they ever do? You ever see him do that in Star Wars? This is just an armored version.
Hold on, look up in chat. Hold on.
Must
Cam
be the
gifted
American
another sub.
version.
Oh, did he? Oh,
To Tactile.
Cam gifted another sub.
That means we're gonna have to get blasted. Do the draw, and then we can get shot on the outro.
Speaking of shooting, look up in the chat.
Oh, that's for the giveaway. Cover up, or not the giveaway.
Listo.
Make it quick, Daddy.
Are
He's never
they
won
here?
before. Oh, wait, we're good. For a minute. He's here.
There they
He's
are.
here.
Congratulations.
Oh, Chris, I just thought of a cool idea, but it takes more work. You need a light set, like the lights here, right? That change to like green, and then they'll go to yellow when you only have like 10 seconds left, and then they'll go to red when the time's over.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, that okay. Wait, you know what? Will it let me? Okay.
We didn't account for the poor droids getting stuck on the balls. Oh, it's fighting. P1NK is beating up. Oh my gosh!
Battle drops!
Hold on. You guys have to see the destruction.
It's pink in one corner and the most fun in the other. A devastating flip.
P1NK just took out the mouse droid and then just is getting all snarky. Look at that. She's got some beef. And she's grenaded herself. Poor P1NK. That's pretty good. Well, the mouse droid is no longer with us. Okay,
So-
Callisto, we need. I know, Suzanne, the mouse droid. Poor mouse droid. So we need your info message. What, David?
I'm sending a message
Okay,
right now.
you got it covered. And then anything else before we call it a night? P1NK is a beast, Kara. Is a beast.
Strong.
This thing is absolutely like bricked right now. Dave, can you set up the raid? Like literally everything's frozen on the screen for
It
me.
does not
Even
let me
us.
set up a raid.
How
Is it
about
showing that you guys are frozen on the screen that's showing for you?
no?
No.
All right, I'm just gonna try disconnecting and reconnecting to the. Boy.
Did you know You're going to have a bunch of messages after this.
I am super excited for that. We've got enough Skirmish copies, so that should be good.
What's the farthest you've gone or shipped one to?
China.
No way.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I've had one to China, one to Japan. Those are probably my 2. Have I done to Alaska?
What's the shipping to China or Japan?
Ridiculous. Well, Japan was to a base, so that wasn't
so you
terrible.
You got to send it to a, what do they call that? Not a P.O. box, but
yeah.
It's forwards it to military.
Mm-hmm. So that wasn't too terrible. China was over 100 easy.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
So because did you know it's like when I send stuff to England, you either have to pay a value added or like a VAT tax, or they have to pay for a goods tax.
Yeah,
it's not a whatever. Did you have to pay like a thing on top of it when they got it, or no?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think there was anything extra on it. I just know it was like a good chunk out of the front end and a bunch of paperwork.
Crazy.
And the odd thing is like, oh, do you have anything that's flammable or toxic or whatever? I'm like, well, it's technically resin, but it's been cured.
Right.
You know, so it's like,
yeah,
it's just game pieces. And then usually I put just a bunch of bags of cocaine. So...
Hey, that way they can sell it and make their money back that they paid for shipping.
Listen, it's going to make going through that rule book a breeze. Just sit down. No, but yeah, so China's probably been the farthest.
Crazy.
But a lot in the States. I don't think I've hit every state yet, but that'd be a fun goal.
That's cool.
But,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a map where you mark off every time you send one?
I have meant to, but I'm a cheapskate, and American maps that would be big enough are expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for a school to like remodel, and I'll take one out of there.
There you go.
So
it's ridiculous. All right, Chris, who are we raiding tonight?
I can't do it. I can't get to the stupid Chrome.
Do we just end it tonight?
Probably just end it.
Well, we want to take. Do you want to do your normal outro at least? And we'll get blasted.
Sure, that's fine. All right, well, thanks everybody for joining us. I apologize once again to anybody who's listening to the audio-only version of the podcast. Once again, we provided absolutely nothing of value to you, but you can always make that better by joining us live every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/Rise of the Podcast. You can also join us on all of our classic videos on YouTube at youtube.com/Rise of the Podcast. If you're catching up with us there, don't forget to like the video and comment down below to carry on the conversation. Everybody, it's been a blast hanging out with you tonight. Darrell, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Darrell. You're so very welcome.
Oh, here we go.
Everybody, so much for watching, and of course,
may the force be with you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Save me, Gloria!